Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here. It's right on the 9-game NBA main set on Wednesday. A couple things before I get in the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also running a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway on my channel. How it works, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment per video. So it started with my Monday NBA video that I uploaded a couple days ago. We'll go throughout this week, and we'll end in my Monday NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway 10 times. And again, winner receives $20 PayPal from myself. Also, just want to say thank you guys for all the support recently. Seriously, the comments, in the YouTube comment section, for the videos, on the live streams, on Twitter. I really do appreciate it and try to reply to each and every one of you. But yeah, with out of the way, let's look back at my lineup here from Tuesday night. So Tuesday, if you guys watched my stream, you guys knew I was going super contrarian in the mid tier, with fading both Giannis and Harden. Talked about kind of my cash game core. If I was playing cash games today, it was I gave Harden, Bledsoe, Zion, and Lonzo Ball. So pretty solid, right? Bledsoe 34.5 at 6.6. Zion was 7.1, 36. Lonzo 36 at 6.7, I think. So nothing like crazy there. Then obviously Harden was super chalk, and then I think I left about 4.4K remaining for you guys to get some value in there. But yeah, again, I faded Harden. I knew that was very suboptimal. I like to get a little bit risky on these small slates and take chances that I wouldn't on a main slate where I play more money. But yeah, let's go over my lineup here. So Bledsoe, Drew, obviously disappointment there. Middleton, Zion, JaVale McGee, Lonzo Ball, Eric Gordon, and Will Barton. So Drew versus Ingram was a tough one. Obviously probably should have went Ingram. He had 48 compared to Drew's 22. They're at a very similar price. So if I have Ingram in this lineup instead of Drew, it's a different story, right? It's looking pretty solid. I think my mistake was, not getting either Harden or Giannis, obviously, right? I knew it was super contrarian, but probably should have just played one of those guys or both. I talked about in my video, like, there's definitely a real chance or a good chance that you could get, Harden and Giannis in your lineup and feel decent about it. I think it was, if you plug both those guys in, I think it was about 4.4K remaining as well. And there's enough value, right? There's some value with Charlotte, with Cody Martin, some of those Rockets guys, potentially the Denver guys, but Jamal Murray and Jeremy Grant ended up playing. And then, yeah, so again, I think my mistake was not getting one of those guys in my line, and then, getting a couple of those value guys with some of those Rockets value guys, right, with like McLemore, Rivers. I want Eric Gordon. He's been a little bit disappointing. I think he's like 5 of 20. Typical Eric Gordon, right? He's very scoring dependent. And then Will Barton, I stuck with him. It was him or Aldridge for me. Could have went down to Aldridge, but I figured Barton would be a lot lower owned. And with Drew Holiday having a bad performance, like, what, I'm just going to stick with the low on Barton and hope he goes off. And then JaVale McGee is a value play. I was okay with him, but probably should have went with some of that Rockets value instead, whether it be McLemore or Austin Rivers or even like a Daniel House for a little bit more. I probably should have played one of those guys instead of McGee, just because McGee's kind of limited to like 15, 20 minutes. But all in all, I mean, what can you do? But yeah, that's basically it for Tuesday. Hope you guys had a solid night. Again, that core of Bledsoe, Harden, Zion, and Lonzo Ball. Hopefully you got that core can get you guys into the money with some of those value plays I talked about. But yeah, let's move on to this 9-game slate for Wednesday. Okay, so first let's look at some numbers here. Not a lot out right now. Suns, Pistons not out. Warriors, Nets not out. So we have the Pacers and the Raptors sitting at 215.5. The Raptors favored by 6. Still waiting on the Magic and Celtics. Hawks, Timberwolves 236.5. The Timberwolves favored by 6 right now. That is the highest of the night. Cavs, Thunder 219.5. The Thunder are 12-point favorites. A little bit of blowout risk there. We have the Mavs and the Grizzlies 229 with the Mavs favored by 4.5. Still waiting on Denver and Utah, and then Miami Heat, Clippers. This one should be a fun game to watch. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be a great game for DFS purposes, but 223 over under, 6.5 point spread. All right, let's jump into it. So we'll start, as always, at the top at center. Karl-Anthony Towns, 10.6 in one of the best possible matchups against Atlanta. 35, 40, 36, 37. We're going to get 35 plus from him in a good spot. Is this the game we finally have a huge cat game? Right, we haven't seen one in a while because obviously he's been injured for a long time, but we haven't, since he's come back from injury, we have not seen that big 70-plus game from Towns. I wonder if this is the night where he finally breaks out for a big game. I could definitely see it here right against Atlanta, so certainly someone I'm considering to spend up. Jokic, a little bit more contrarian here against Utah, but he's having a really good night tonight against Portland. He's still going to play big minutes with no Mason Plumlee, no Paul Millsap. Again, just the matchup, I think it makes him a little bit more contrarian. Like, I probably lean towards Cat for an extra 1,000 or so. Probably prefer Drummond in a better spot there against Phoenix to Jokic. So I think Jokic a little bit more contrarian, but definitely still in play because he's been playing huge minutes. Drummond at 9.3, I like a good amount. We already have Derrick Rose ruled out. We know Phoenix, they played DeAndre Ayton big minutes. DeAndre Ayton, not a very good defender. So this is a game where I could really see Drummond have an upside game. He's had 50 fantasy points in back-to-back games. So I do like him a good amount. I think you can even pair him if you wanted to. Run it back with DeAndre Ayton on the other side and just play both centers in this game. I think that is a viable option tonight. Sabonis at 9.2. He did have a really solid game there against Dallas. I don't know if I can prioritize him tonight. John Collins, I think I only go there as part of a game stack. If I'm like full of game stack in this game, 8.6K seems priced about right. Vucevic, again, I think he's a more contrarian option. Don't think I can go there for cash games. Now, DeAndre Ayton, I do like at 8.3. I was super high on him last game. He was part of my core. 34 minutes, 57 fantasy points. Drummond, not a very good defender. So again, you could definitely run both centers in this game and run like a mini game stack there. I don't hate that at all. Ayton, 8.3. I think that's still slightly underpriced. You can still have upside, right? He's playing huge minutes, probably 35 plus if the game stays close. So I think Ayton is very much in play. But if we're picking between the two 8.3K guys here, I gotta lean towards Porzingis. I love Porzingis once again. I know the price came up to 8.3. Doesn't scare me. I'll be going right back to the well for the third time with Porzingis. No Luka. Again, you guys know his upside, 36 minutes in back-to-back games. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. Memphis, I'm not scared of them defensively, so I love Porzingis once again here. Even at 8.3K, he's one of my favorite plays. Bam Adebayo's Miami Clippers game is just, I think these guys are all just secondary options for me. I don't think I can, recommend them confidently for cash games and, two pretty solid defensive teams. Again, this game should be fun to watch, Miami Clippers. I don't necessarily know if it's a great game for DFS. Gobert at 8.1. I just like other centers more, to be honest. Like I like Cat at the top. I like Drummond more. I like Ayton. I like Porzingis if you want to play him at center. Siakam at 7.8 is definitely okay here, but I think I like the price tags a little bit more on some of the other Toronto guys. We'll talk about Ibaka here in a little. I love Ibaka's price. I think Lowry is a little bit too cheap, so Siakam more of a secondary option for me. JV at 7.5 is currently listed as questionable, so this is huge news. Put up 59 fantasy points the last game against Detroit. So yeah, certainly something to keep an eye on. If he plays, he's always in play for GPPs. If he misses, I'm interested to see what Memphis does for the starting lineup. Do they move Brandon Clark in the starting lineup for him, or do they move Triple J to the 5 and go more small ball? If they move Brandon Clark in the lineup, I would have a good amount of interest in him. If they move Triple J to the 5, obviously Triple J is viable, and then whoever moves in the starting lineup. So definitely something to keep an eye on here with the status of JV. Larry Nance at 6.5 started that last game. No Tristan Thompson, played 42 minutes. Now, it did go to overtime, so I guess only 37. If Tristan Thompson's out, you can definitely consider Nance, but the price tag did come up, right? He's no longer the great value play there like he was at 5.4. Allen and Jordan are always viable, but just for GPPs, right? They kind of split the minutes. Triple J, this is basically dependent on JV news. If he misses, I could look to Triple J, especially if he starts at the center. Now, the concern with him is he's always in foul trouble and a very, very up and down player. Ibaka, one of my favorite plays here at 6.1K. That is just way too cheap in my opinion. Only played 24 minutes that game against Chicago. It blew out. He did not see any fourth quarter run. I think we get over 30 minutes from him in a close game. This one should stay close. I know Indiana's solid defensively, but they have Turner. They have Sabonis out there. So Ibaka, I could definitely see him play 30, maybe even 35 minutes here. I love him here at 6.1K. I think he's one of my favorite plays in the mid-tier. There's a lot of really solid center plays in the slate. Like, a lot of those guys up top, and then I got Ibaka in the mid-range I really like. Montrez, just not seeing enough minutes from me right now. 26, 29, 26, 25 with Paul George, with everyone healthy. I just can't go there. Let's see, Adams at 5.6. He's still kind of splitting the minutes with Noel. Not for me. Other options, yeah. So Tristan Thompson is currently listed as questionable. If he can't go, we can look to Love. We can look to Larry Nance. Now, big news here, Daniel Tice is not going to be available. So I assume Enes Kanter is going to start, and if Enes Kanter starts, he would really stand out as a solid value play there at center. Let's see, other options, yeah, Clark, again, this is kind of dependent on if he starts or not, if JV is out. If JV is out and Clark starts, I would have a decent amount of interest in him there, 4.9. Wood, with no Markieff Morris, so the Pistons are pretty short-handed. We have a lot of guys questionable. I believe Markieff Morris, is he... He is questionable. Okay, so if Markieff Morris can't go, if a lot of those Pistons guys are out once again, we can look to Christian Wood, who played 34 minutes the last game. So this is kind of dependent on, the status of some of those wings in Detroit, right? Markieff Morris, Fee. There's a good amount of guys questionable right now. Got no Marcus Gasol, so Ibaka's going to play a good amount of minutes at the center. Let's see. Yeah, Enes Kanter, 4.2K, right? I assume he's probable. They've been, he's played, he's going to play... My best guess, if he starts, he probably gets about 25 minutes. And if that's the case at 4.2K, I know Vucevic is a solid defender, but if we get 25 minutes from Kanter, he's one of the best plays of the day here, 4.2. So center is really loaded. Damian Jones at 3.8. I guess it's kind of dependent on Fernando news. If Fernando can't go, maybe we get a good amount of minutes from Damian Jones, who has in bigger matchups, right? Got 26 there against Embiid. We could consider him, but I would probably prioritize Kanter over him. All in all, again, center is really loaded. I think Kanter, if he starts, I assume he starts. Boston, this is not going to give Kanter like huge minutes. Probably Poirier gets in the rotation. Grant Williams probably gets a little bit more run. Those aren't really guys I would consider. It would be Kanter. And I would like him a good amount there if he starts. I'd assume we get about 25 minutes. But again, other centers, we have Cat at the top, we have Drummond, we have Ayton, Porzingis. You can play him at power forward, but still. And then again, Ibaka and Kanter. There's a lot of good center plays on this slate. Let's move on to power forward. Already talked about all these guys at the top again. I love Porzingis. Kevin Love at 8K. If Tristan Thompson's out, he played 41 minutes. Now, again, it went to overtime, so 36. Still, 36 minutes is the most we've seen Kevin Love in a long time. He had a huge game, 33, 13, and 6. Don't think we can expect those type of numbers, but I would have some interest in him if Thompson is out once again. The Boston Wings, Tatum, Brown, Hayward, not really a good spot, but if Kemba and Smart are out, you can consider these guys. Hayward, I believe, is probable. Yeah, again, these are guys we can consider if Kemba is out, if Smart's out. Oubre at 7K. He's going to get big minutes, 39, 36, 38. He's kind of up and down. I think I only go there as part of a game stack, or more maybe just for GPPs, right? I don't think I can go there in cash games. Gallinari at 6.6. Seems like the OKC guys are always priced in like the same range, right? They're always in like the 6.5 to like 7.5K range. I'm perfectly fine for Gallinari here. I don't think he's a terrible play, but I don't think he's like an amazing play. DFS had 2 really solid games. I'm not chasing that at 6.1K. Is way too much for me to pay for Dorian Finney-Smith. Let's see, other options here. We have DeAndre Hunter, questionable. We have Cam Reddish already out. If DeAndre Hunter can't go, I think we get big minutes from Teague once again, so we'll talk about him in a bit as a possible value play. Kleber, 4.5. So even alongside Porzingis, he played 35 minutes. Who knows, right? It's Rick Carlisle. It's just those rotations are so fluky. But if we're going to get over 30 minutes from Kleber, I think he is in play as a value option. Let's see, Sekou, like him, Christian Wood, Bruce Brown. These are all the guys we consider if all those guys, if all, like Markieff Morris is out again, if Svee's out again. Because Detroit ran, I believe, an 8-man rotation that last game when everyone was out. I guess you can consider Grant Williams at 3.7. He will get more run, probably about 25 or so minutes. He's okay, but I would just prefer getting to Cantor for an extra $500 more. Cheek Diallo is making the backup 5 run. He played 26 and 14 minutes. Just more of a dart throw here, right? I think he only probably gets about 15 or so in a close game. But yeah, let's move on to small forward. So Kawhi at the top at 9.8. I can't do it. I think he's fine spend up, but not like an amazing play. Again, with everyone healthy for the Clippers, it's really hard to prioritize these guys. Paul George at 8K did get 31 minutes, which is good to see. So I think Paul George would probably be my favorite play on the Clipper side just because of his price, right? 25, 31. He's probably off his minutes limit. And if that's the case, I think he is probably my favorite play on the Clippers. Even in a tough spot, 8K is a little bit underpriced for Paul George. Jimmy Butler had a really good game the last game against Philly, but I think I like other plays at similar prices. Wiggins is like, I hate Andrew Wiggins, but I get it right against Atlanta. He's so up and down though, right? He's just, like this game, 36, 9, and 8 is just, I don't know. He's such a frustrating player. I'm fine taking a shot there, but definitely not a cash game play. Draymond Green at 6.6. I was really high on him in bursts against Washington. Green had 42 fancy points. I'm perfectly fine getting to him once again. We do have D'Angelo Russell back, but I don't know if that affects Draymond too much. So I think Draymond is still viable here at 6.6K. Let's see. Other options. Yeah, this Orlando-Boston game, I'm just not super excited about that. Kind of the same with Denver-Utah. Two pretty unappealing games for me. LeVert finally had a breakout game. Finally with no catch. Played 32 minutes, shot the ball 10 of 20, 45 fancy points. If he starts again, I think you can have interest in him, but I would not expect 45 from him again. I don't know. It kind of feels like chasing if you play him, but right, I get it if he starts again. I think we probably get close to 30 minutes from him, which is good to see, right? The minutes have been down on him recently. So if we get about 30 minutes from him, he is viable. Glenn Robinson, not going to chase that big game with when D'Angelo Russell is out. We have no Teacher Warren once again. Started Aaron Holiday for him. I think Aaron Holiday is an okay value play. I like Mikal Bridges at 5K. He had a good game, but his price, I can't pay 5K for him. Bruce Brown. So this is, again, these Piston guys are kind of dependent on the status of Markieff Morris, on the status of Svi Mykhailiuk. Bruce Brown played 38 minutes in back-to-back games. It's a really good spot against Phoenix. I know the price came up, but I would still consider guys like him, guys like Christian Wood, guys like Sekou, if all those other guys on the Pistons end up getting ruled out. Let's see. Other options here. I think that's basically it. Yeah, so let's move on to shooting guard. At the top is D'Lo, Revenge Spot, 8.4K. I love him. He's one of my favorite plays of the day here. I really think he's one to put on a show here. Again, Revenge Spot. We probably get 35 minutes from him in a close game. Not scared of Spencer Dinwiddie or Karis LeVert defense, or Garrett Temple, whoever they try to throw on him. I really like D'Angelo Russell at 8.4. I think he has huge upside. Devin Booker is interesting because I think he's going to go very low owned. He burned a lot of people, had a terrible shooting night. 3 of 15, 22 fancy points, was in some foul trouble. It was the DeAndre Ayton show. He's been a little bit up and down for sure, but 8.3K is certainly in play here in a really good spot against Detroit. So, yeah, and I think the ownership will be down on him after he burned a lot of people. Kind of the same thing with Dinwiddie, right? He had a really bad game after being somewhat popular with no Kyrie, 31 minutes, 24 fancy points. It was the Karis LeVert show, but we have seen games with no Kyrie Irving where Dinwiddie has put up 50 plus, even 60, right? I think he's reached 60 once or twice this season with no Kyrie. So the upside is there. Golden State, again, I'm not scared of them defensively. So you could look to Dinwiddie, you could look to Booker. I think those guys are going to be pretty low owned after having bad games in their most recent game. SGA, again, these OKC guys, I'm fine. They're more filler plays for me. It's a good spot against Cleveland, but I never think one really stands out. FVF at 6.9. Again, the minutes have been a little bit down for him because of blowouts, but 6.9K is a little bit underpriced for him, so I do have a decent amount of interest there in the mid-range. Schroeder's been really good off the bench. 3 straight games, 40 plus. He's certainly in play for GPPs. You could even make the argument for cash games, but playing a guy off the bench that probably gets about 30 minutes is a little bit risky. But again, the upside is there for sure with Schroeder. Even the guy like Colin Sexton, I'm not a big Colin Sexton guy, but he's played really well. 40, 36, 38, 45 fantasy points. He's been getting a little bit more peripheral stats, right? Getting some assists, getting some rebounds. So if you're a guy that likes riding hot streaks in DFS, I'm perfectly fine going to Sexton. Am I going to go there? Probably not, but I get it, right? Because of his recent performances. Lou Williams, even at 6K, it's just the minutes are down on him. 29, 23. I still don't think I get to him there, even at that price. Burks, I can't do a D-Lo back. Herder, I believe, is probable, yeah. I think he's okay. Don't really think he's an amazing play there. Brunson has started, but 5.8K. He seems priced about right. He can still have upside there, but don't know if I can recommend him as a great cash game play. Oladipo, we did get news his minutes are going to go up to 24 to 28. The price did come down to, he's been terrible, though. 2 of 8, 2 of 14, 4 of 17. Is this a game where he breaks out? Because if it is, right, he's being really aggressive offensively. And if we get 28 minutes from him and he shoots the ball well, I could see him putting up 40 plus. So don't think he's a cash game play, but certainly a play for GPPs. You got to think he's going to have a breakout game soon. Jeff Teague, the price did come up, but I still think you can consider him if DeAndre Hunter's out. Not like the great value he was the other night, but yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on there with the status of DeAndre Hunter. Got a revenge spot here as well. Wanamaker, can't pay 5.2K for him. Tyler Hero, he is already ruled out. His minutes have been going down a bit, though. I'm okay into Nunn or Dragic. I don't really think those guys stand out as great plays, though. Let's see. Other options, like JJ. I believe JJ Barea and Seth Curry are questionable. So that actually is pretty significant. If both those guards can't go, there is probably good minutes for Brunson, probably good minutes for DeLon Wright, right? Those guys, even Ryan Brokoff probably get some good run. So that is something to keep an eye on there with the status of JJ and Seth Curry. Aaron Holiday, right, he started for TJ Warren, played 24 minutes. He's an okay value play there, 4.1 if he starts again. Deion Waiters, 3.5. Yeah, he's not even in the rotation right now, so we can't go there. I think that basically wraps it up for shooting guard. So let's move on to point guard. Trae Young at the top at 10.1. I like him as a spend up. He had somewhat pedestrian game for him of 34.7 assists, but man, this game, like, you could definitely run a mini game stack of Trae Young and Cat and then get value elsewhere. I am perfectly fine doing that as well. I think the upside with both those guys is enormous. So Cat, Trae Young are 2 spend ups I like a lot today. Again, I already talked about really liking D'Lo as well. Kemba and Smart are questionable. This is something to keep an eye on. If they can't go, we can consider those wings. Even in a bad spot, then you can play one of those Boston wings. Donovan Mitchell, 7.1. I think he's a little bit underpriced. I'm okay getting to him there. Let's see. John Morant's minutes went down. Don't think I can go there. Kyle Lowry, 6.7. Again, this is just too cheap for a price tag in my opinion. 2 blowout games, only 31 and 30 minutes. I think we probably get over 35 from him in a close game. I know it's a bad spot, but 6.7 I think he stands as a pretty solid cash game play there. Even a guy like Napier, if you want a more cheaper option this game, I'm okay with him. We probably get about 30 minutes from him in a good spot. 6.3K. It seems priced about right, but I can still see him having an upside game. Jamal Murray, don't think I can do it. He played tonight. I think they're going to limit him, so I'll probably pass on that price. Rubio has been terrible. Just terrible recently. Bad game there against Brooklyn. Only 19 minutes. Was in foul trouble. You could buy low for sure. I think we probably get over 30 minutes from him in a close game, but he has been really, really bad. So I totally get if you want to fade. Dragic, I think he had a pretty big game. Yeah, he did. The last game, 26 minutes, 40 fancy points. He's someone that's in play with no Tyler Hero. You can look to him for GPPs. Don't think he's a cash game play, though. Let's see, other options. Yeah, so guy like DeLon Wright, that's kind of dependent on whether or not Seth Curry and JJ Barea are able to go. If both those guys are out, we probably get good minutes from Wright. We probably get good minutes from Brunson, and I will consider those guys more if Curry and Barea get rolled out. Conley finally got moved in the starting lineup, played 30 minutes. Actually had a decent game for once. 22, 4, and 4. I'm fine with him if he's going to continue to start. We probably get close to 30 minutes from him, so he's a viable mid-tier play. Beverly at 4.9 is always doable, in my opinion. We probably get 25 to 30 minutes from him. He's a guy that gets those peripheral stats, so I'm okay going there. Reggie Jackson had just a terrible night. Finally, right? He had been playing amazing, and he comes out 24 minutes, 1 of 16. We already have Derrick Rose ruled out. We have Markieff Morris questionable. I believe Svi Mikhailuk, is he? Let me go to Svi. Oh, he's already ruled out too. Okay. Let me go to Detroit really quick here, and then I can go back to point guard. Just want to make sure I get this right here. So, no Rose, obviously no Kennard still, no Svi, and possibly no Markieff Morris. So, let me just confirm this, but I believe they ran an 8-man rotation that last game when Markieff Morris is out. So, this is pretty big news. Let's see. Pistons, they did. They ran an 8-man rotation. Tony Snell, wouldn't really consider him. He played 29 minutes. Sekou had a terrible night as well. 2 of 15, still played 26 minutes. Drummond played 36. Reggie Jackson played 24. Bruce Brown played 38. Christian Wood off the bench played 34 minutes. Thon Maker played 15. Galloway played 37. So if Markieff Morris is out again and the Pistons are going to run this 8-man rotation, yeah, you can certainly go to these guys, right? Galloway played 37 minutes. So these are all guys I think we can consider. Don't think I'd go Snell, but guys like Galloway, Sekou, Christian Wood, Bruce Brown, even Reggie Jackson, those are guys I would look to. Again, if Detroit's going to run an 8-man rotation, that looks pretty appealing and a good spot there against Phoenix. But yeah, back to the point guard position again. Reggie just had a terrible shooting night. But if he's going to continue to start, we probably get over 30 minutes from him in a close game. I'm not super worried about a really, really bad shooting night. Again, good spot here. So I'm certainly considering Reggie Jackson. You can definitely look at Bruce Brown, too. He played huge minutes, 38 in back-to-back games. He'll run a little bit of a backup point. So those are two guys very much in play there for the Pistons. But I think that's really it. Yeah, don't think we have to consider any of these really cheap options. So, yeah, that basically wraps up. Again, game by game on the Phoenix side. I think Ayton makes for a pretty solid play. You can definitely look to Devin Booker as well in a bounce-back spot. On the Detroit side, if they ran an 8-man rotation, again, that's pretty appealing, right? Drummond at the top, and then those cheaper options like Reggie, Bruce Brown, Christian Wood, even Sekou, all certainly in play. Pacers and Raptors on the Pacers side, not a whole lot I'm super excited about. Oladipo is definitely in play for GPPs. You can look to Aaron Holiday if he starts once again. On the Toronto side, there's a good amount of like here. Ibaka is way too cheap. One of my favorite plays at 6.1. I also do like Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet. I think they're a little bit underpriced. Golden State, Brooklyn. The Golden State side, love D'Angelo Russell. I think he goes a bit low-owned tonight, but revenge spot. I think we probably get 35 or so minutes from him in a close game. On the Brooklyn side, I'm okay getting to Dinwiddie as a bounce-back spot there. LeVert, a little bit undecided. It kind of feels like chasing, but if he starts again, I get it. Orlando, Boston, not a lot of interest really on the Orlando side. On the Boston side, we have no Daniel Tice. I think Cantor, if he starts, would become one of the better value plays. If Smart and Kemba are out, then we can look to those wings. Atlanta, Minnesota. On the Atlanta side, I really like Trae Young as a spend up if you can get to him, if you're comfortable with the value plays. I think Teague would be okay if DeAndre Hunter misses. And then on the Minnesota side, you got to like Cat as a spend up rate. Really, really good spot. I'm okay with Shabazz. If you want to take a shot on Wiggins for GPPs, I guess. Cleveland, OKC. We're waiting on Tristan Thompson news. If he can't go, I'm okay getting to Nance or Love. And then Sexton, you got to consider what he's been doing. He's been playing really well. The OKC guys, OKC side, those guys are always more filler options. I'm fine landing on those guys, but I don't think one really stands out. Memphis, Dallas. So big news here is Jonas Valanciunas, but he can't go. I'm interested to see what they do with the starting lineup. Again, if Clark starts, I would like him a good amount. If Triple J starts at center, I think he would become a viable mid-range play. And then on the Dallas side, love Porzingis. We're waiting on the status of Seth Curry and J.J. Barea. If both those guys can't go, I think DeLon Wright and a guy like Jalen Brunson probably get pretty good minutes. Denver, Utah, not a game I'm super excited about. Two slow, good defensive teams. Jokic, more of a contrarian option for me. We have Jamal Murray back, Jeremy Grant healthy. So not a whole lot I'm super excited about on the Denver side. On the Utah side, kind of the same thing. I think Mike Conley's okay if he's going to continue to start and play 30 minutes. I think Donovan Mitchell's okay at 7.1. Last game here, this one should be fun to watch, but I don't really think anything stands out as an amazing play. On the Miami side, I'm okay into Bam or Jimmy or even Goran Dragic. On the Clippers side, I think Paul George, probably my favorite play there at 8K. But yeah, that's basically it. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, would really appreciate it if you'd like this video and subscribe. Again, just takes 2 seconds out of your day to hit that like button. Really helps me out. I will be live streaming for this 9-game slate 45 minutes before lock, so be sure to check the live stream, guys. I will go over all the news that we get throughout the day. I will give you guys my cash game core plays, and then I can give you answer any questions you guys have at the end. So thanks again for everyone to come in to check out the video, and I will see you guys all tomorrow in the live stream.